Okay, so as we get closer to the end of the year, I just wanted to circle back on some stuff we've already covered, but it's probably some of the key stuff, the more important stuff that you need. So I want to recover it. We're gonna hop back to November and do some multi-step equations. So right, you're trying to get letter equal number basically here. Pen. I'm sorry for my slow computer again. There it is. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is combine like terms, right? Like terms are regular numbers and terms that have the variable. So right here, and you do that like when they're on the same side of the equal sign. So those two are like terms. I mean, one technically is, but it's on the other side of the equal sign. So I'm not going to mess with it right now. But -2 minus 6, you have $2 in your pocket. You owe me $6, you'd be down 4. So we got n minus 4 equals 1. And then in order to get n by itself or isolate the variable, that -4 has to disappear, right? So if you're down $4, how do you zero out? By adding $4, right? So we're going to add $4 here. But we have to do it to the other side of the equal sign, right? If I told you that 2 of my students are just, I'm going to treat them equally, and I give one $4, in order to remain equal, I got to give the other $4. So I do the both thing to both, same thing to both sides. The n comes down. -4 plus 4 is 0. That's why we did that. Equal sign comes down, and 1 plus 4 is 5. So your final answer is 5. If you're typing this into Edge Elastic, don't put n equals 5, just put 5. Okay, again, we're going to start by combining like terms. So we have the 6 and the 3, and technically the 15, but it's on the other side of the equal sign. We're not going to deal with that yet. So I have 6n, which I didn't do anything to. And positive 6 plus 3 is just 9. Nothing fancy there. 6 plus 3 is 9. Okay. Now, when you're solving equations, you kind of go in reverse order of operations. So in order to isolate the n, we're going to add and subtract stuff off first. Okay, right. We're going in reverse order. So this positive 9 needs to go, right? Before I can get n alone, I have to get 6n alone. So this 9 has to go. So we subtract 9 from both sides. The 6n just comes down. And 9 minus 9 is nothing. That's why we did that. Equal sign comes down. And then 15 minus 9 is 6. So now we have 6n equals 6. We have to undo, we have to get the n alone so that 6 has to go. So remember, 6n really means 6 times n. So to undo that, we're going to divide both sides by 6. And the reason we're doing that is 6 divided by 6 is 1. So basically you have created a 1n over here, which is just n, equals, and 6 divided by 6 over here is 1. So again, assuming you're putting this in Edge Elastic, put just 1 as your answer. All right, combining like terms, I actually have all x's as like terms. I have a 3x and a -1x, or 3x minus 1x. I have 3 x's, take 1 away, 2x equals 16. So I combined like terms, right? And there's nothing to add and subtract off, so I can just go ahead and deal with that 2 right away. 2 times x. Divide both sides. It's got to be both sides, right? If I cut one group in half, I got to cut the other in half to make sure it stays even. 2 divided by 2 is really 1, which is why we do that. So we have an x over here equals 16 divided by 2 is 8. So you would just put 8 in as your answer. Okay, this one looks a little weird. Let's start with combining like terms as usual. So I see my like terms here. I have a negative 3m and a negative 2m. Students often forget the symbol in front has to stick with it, right? So it's not negative 3m plus 2m. It's negative 3 minus 2. You owe me $3. 3 monies, if you will, right, for m. So negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5m. And we haven't dealt with this. There's no other like terms on the left-hand side, so we just bring it down, sign with it. And again, we go in reverse order of operations. So we add and subtract stuff off. I have a negative 7. So I'm going to add 7 to sort of zero it out. Negative 5m comes down. Negative 7 plus 7 is nothing, right? It's the same as saying 7 minus 7. So it's gone. Equals, all right, negative 2 plus 7. You owe me $2. You have 7 in your pocket. You would really have 5 when you would walk away. Now I have negative 5m. So you got to ask yourself what's happening. I have a lot of students tempted to add 5 to both sides. That's not what's happening here. It's negative 5 times m. So to undo the times, we have to divide by that negative 5, by that coefficient. And negative divided by negative is positive. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So technically we, quote, canceled it out. So we got m equals, well, that should be a 5. Positive divided by a negative is negative. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So your answer, your final answer for question 4 is negative 1.